Hello, this is James for Eurovoix. We are here in Basel at the Kunstmuseum of Modern Art at the semi-final draw, and I'm joined by the latest hire at Eurovision, Mr. Martin Green, the new ESC director. How are you, Martin?
I'm really good. It's great to be here. It's all getting very exciting now. Up and running for another year. Beautiful venue here in Basel, great city, all good.
And that's been sort of the theme of this, hasn't it? That the contest is coming back home this year. How do you feel about that as someone coming in, that the contest is coming back to its roots?
There is something arguably poetic about it, isn't there? You know, I'm sort of new. I mean, I'm new to the EBU and running Eurovision. As you may know, I had the pleasure of running Eurovision in Liverpool, so it's not all new to me. But there's something poetic about my first time working for the EBU, running Eurovision, being in the birthplace of it all 69 years ago.
It's a good place to start, and thank you for Liverpool, by the way, just generally for everyone British. Oh, those were good days. So, you've come in this new ESC director role. It was agreed in via these reforms that came after Malmö. Coming into the organisation from the outside looking in, what were the things you felt you wanted to implement when you came in, and what progress have you made so far in doing that?
Gosh, that's a very long,
very open question, I admit.
So let's think. So obviously, I had the advantage of knowing the organisation. I should say I feel immensely proud and lucky to have got the job leading the thing. I think there was a recognition that the thing has become so big, we just needed to expand ourselves as well. A lot of what I'm looking at is to the future. We have a great team who work on the shows. Martin Ostel remains absolutely in control of Eurovision in the show point of view. A lot of what I'm looking at is what we do through the rest of the year and what we do going into the future. We have a 70th anniversary next year to celebrate, and I want to go big on that. And there's no reason why we can't extend the project into other places. So early days at the moment. When we've got some concrete ideas, we'll be straight out because we'll always want to tell people about it. But that's the basic division of labour. My job is to look over the fence and see what's coming down the road.
That's how the Martins are divided. It's very much the Martins in the EBU now.
It is very unfortunate. It is Martin O and Martin G, in case you were wondering how to differentiate. And he's the handsome one.
Well, all right, Martin G. Last question from me. You might have heard on the Graham Norton show a few days ago, Ollie Alexander went on and he said that the best piece of advice he could give to a Eurovision artist or someone wanting to be a Eurovision artist was to get a really good therapist. Now, do you think that there is a perception problem of Eurovision at the moment for artists, maybe because of what happened in Malmö and so on? And if there is, what do you think you and the EBU should be doing in order to try and improve that?
So I don't think there's a perception problem. I think, you know, if someone like Ollie Alexander, who's been in the business for a very long time and done some very high-profile things, is essentially saying it's quite a stressful experience, I am not surprised. So imagine what it's like for some of the artists we have who haven't had Ollie's experience. Now, we work a lot with delegation managers to make sure that artists are taken care of, and we spent a lot of time this year making sure that we've got our ship in order as well. That's why you've seen the production of the Code of Conduct, the Duty of Care. That's where we write it down. We do a lot of other softer stuff behind the scenes to make sure that we take care of artists when they come in, obviously working with the host broadcaster, with the host city. So we look at things every year from a continual improvement point of view. Will we ever make it not a stressful experience? Well, you know, frankly, going on stage in front of 170 million people, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to make it not to. But can we make sure that they're relaxed backstage, that they've got access to things if we need them? Of course they do. And I think it's a joint effort to continually improve that year on year.
Well, it's an exciting time to get into Eurovision, and I think it's very good that you're on board. That was Martin Green, the ESC director, the new ESC director, and we have been here at the draw in Basel. Martin, thank you very much for chatting to us.
You're more than welcome.